New tonight, you may have heard of the term contact tracing. It's being suggested as a way to track the coronavirus and determine when this quarantine could end. But the question is, how does it work? Our partners at Newsy explain.
For decades, contact tracing has been a kind of detective work for figuring out who's spreading a virus. But on a large scale, it takes an army of monitors conducting interviews, which is why contact tracing is now going high-tech. Here's how that could work. As quarantine winds down, two strangers share the same park bench and have a brief conversation. Each of their phones have a contact tracing app that uses Bluetooth to record that the two devices have been near each other through unique identifying beacons. A few days later, one of these people tests positive for COVID-19. He enters his test result into the app, and any device that collected one of his ID beacons over the past 14 days, including that phone belonging to the other person from the park, receives a message alerting her she's come into contact with someone who's tested positive. This kind of digital contact tracing was used in South Korea and Singapore, both of which effectively slowed the spread of the virus. Now, with two huge US companies offering the tools to deploy this technology worldwide, we're talking about major potential as well as major privacy concerns.
We've always been interested in balancing what measures actually help and what public health officials actually help versus giving the government a wish list for surveillance technology that they've asked for a while and are now using COVID-19 as an excuse to finally get.
Matthew Gariglia is with the Electronic Frontier Foundation, the world's top digital civil liberties group. They actually could be on board with the idea of digital contact tracing if it were done with the proper safeguards.
I think anonymizing this data is incredibly important, right? Because otherwise, somebody looking at the spreadsheet of contacts could easily kind of put the pieces together and figure out who is hanging out with who and who is in proximity of who when. I think having contact tracing be done as an opt-in surveillance measure is certainly something that seems more palatable to me than, requiring a mandatory app on everyone's phone. So I think there's a lot of questions that need to be answered, and I think opting in is one of the best ways to make this effective, but also privacy respectful.
Today, the U.S. Air Force